everyone, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another layout for Scrap the Boys. This is for the July challenge, which is on the road adventure, and this is the photo I've chosen. This is my little man. He's in a little vintage car at the Gympie show probably 3 years ago now, and you can see on the photo there it has my mother-in-law's logo down the bottom. She's a photographer, and this photo, I don't know why, for some reason I have her watermark logo on it. No idea why, but it's fine. I'm just cropping that out. So I'm just here measuring out my photo. I'm using my little Fiskars guillotine. It has sort of inch measurements on the base of it. So I am using that to make sure my photo is the size I want. And I'm pretty sure I cut it to 4x4. So now I'm going ahead with my background paper. I'm going to use just white cardstock, which is pretty unusual for me, I would say. I don't use it very often, but I wanted to do a grid layout, and I kind of wanted to keep this one simple because I don't know. I think I'm at the point now where I use cut files so much, I kind of struggle when I don't have one to use. So I definitely could have used one, but yeah, I think this night this night that I was making this, I was actually joining in with the Kidaholic Kits Cybercrop. So I have the very talented Virginia Walker there on my phone. I'm scrapping along with her little scrappy sesh, and because I was sort of joining in a cybercrop and I was commenting and whatnot, I just wanted to keep it pretty simple. So grid layout is probably as simple as they come. So I'm pulling out the Little Dude collection from Simple Stories, and I have a few extra bits and pieces that aren't included in the kit chucked in with this, but they complement it well. So I think I pretty much used the kit though. So I'm going through and pulling out the cut apart sheets because I am wanting to do that grid layout, and they really help. So I just love this photo of him. So yep, I do end up using that red and white paper, but not to back this photo. A little undecided, as you can see. So I like this one with the black and white arrows bordering it. The actual card is lined, which is awesome. So I thought that would be perfect for my journaling spot. So I'm chopping that out, and it's roughly the same size as my photo too. So that's going to balance out my photo. Here we go. Just put my photo on the other side so he's looking across the page. I like this little Let the World Hear You Roar card, and I like the colours. I'm drawn towards warm colours for this layout. I pretty much exclusively use yellow, red, and black and white. I'm not sure why. I think just because the colours in the photo, there's a lot of sunlight in it. It's very warm toned. His hat is warm toned. His shirt is white, and I think it has a little bit of blue in it, but there's quite a bit of orange and red in it as well. So I don't know. I tried to bring in some cooler colours, some blues and greens, but I wasn't feeling it. So I stick with what I was liking. I've also cut out this Be Brave, Be Strong, Be Kind card. I like the sentiment and I like the colour. I'm just going around and distressing it around all the edges, and then I will stick it down to this yellow pattern paper just to give it a bit of a border, a bit more interest, and bring some yellow up to that quadrant. So I'm going to try and get some of each colour in each quadrant. Yeah, see, I tried to bring in the blue there, I just wasn't feeling it. I like this red, so I'm going to use that to back this yellow card. And I distress all my edges. I've sped a lot of this up super, super quick because it is pretty repetitive. It's just a lot of distressing, backing. So I back that one, and then I distress it. So you really don't want to see that in real time. I want to back this card. I like the diamonds, but it didn't show up when I put it behind there. You really couldn't see much of the diamonds. I wanted something kind of multicolored. So I pull in this paper. I really love this paper. It's just lots of colorful spots. Distress first. And because that card's just plain black and white, I did want to bring quite a bit of color into that. So I like this spot for that. So I guess it did end up having a tiny bit of green on there. I tried to position it so that I got mostly the reds and yellows and oranges. And I don't think there's enough green and blue on that card to really worry about adding more to the page elsewhere. Okay, I'm going to use this. It's not white, it's more a cream, sort of off dirty white, and black arrows. I like that paper. And that's just bringing that same sort of arrow pattern down in a diagonal across from that journaling spot. There we go. I definitely want to put a frame on this because it's stark white and I struggle with just stark white. So I try a few, tried that blue again, just wasn't feeling it. And then when I flipped these over, I saw that, is it houndstooth or is it buffalo plaid? Buffalo plaid. I saw that black and white buffalo plaid and it just looked right. So I am stopping searching and I'm just going to go with it. Just going to gut the paper because I absolutely love that buffalo plaid. And just trim a little bit off my paper. I think I only took a centimetre off each side, so it's just going to have a ½ centimetre all the way around. Not a lot, but it's just enough. You can see the pattern peeking out and it's not going to overwhelm the page. I like it because it's that black, but there's enough white mixed in with it that it's not harsh. I do use a fair bit of black on this layout, but because there is so much white space still and sort of brighter colours, it really doesn't look dark and heavy at all. It still looks nice and light and airy. There we go. So I'm going to lay them out like this so that the two square pieces are, so everything's kind of following that centre cross, but the two square pieces sort of stick out further to the side. I like that that brings a kind of diagonal flow to the page. And I'm going to continue that with my title. So I'm going to spell out on the road. I'm using these gold foil alphas. They're foam and I just got them from Kmart. They're awesome. I got 2 packs and I should have got more. I probably will if I go back. The little red ones are just a little typeface font. They're by Grace Taylor. I got them in a kit so many years ago. I don't even know whether their brand still exists, but they're really nice. And then I pull out these clear stickers. I think they're from Pink Paisley, like over 10 years old these are. I've had them so long. But I end up using that Ready, Set, Go. And that's another pop of green, I guess. I guess I feel like it was muted enough that, I don't know, it looks fine on the page to me. And I'm not really one to necessarily follow rules. I like that little Brad. That is from a Reject Shop collection. I've had that for a while too. Love that little puffy car. I use quite a few puffy stickers on this layout. I'm not sure why. I don't know. I really love the puffy stickers in this collection. They're a nice size. They're not super teeny tiny, but they're not massive either. And they had all the colours I wanted. So that car fit really nicely. That little heart brings in some more yellow to that journaling spot card. This is the sticker sheet, so I'm pulling out the little arrow and a phrase up in the top left that brings in some black there, and then a tab and a little red phrase sticker to the yellow card, bringing in some of that red. And I think this is kind of like a tire track arrow. It's kind of weird, but I liked it there. Just needed something to fill in that little gap. Okay, another little phrase sticker in yellow. Just trying to stick with those 3 colours really. A little red star and a yellow phrase sticker there. Had so much fun doing this part. And usually I really struggle with the embellishments, but this was fun. And I think the grid design really helps you not to stress too much about clusters or visual triangle or whatever, because you don't really have to worry about it. I'm adding in my journaling. And more puffy stickers. Couldn't help it with, could not stop putting puffy stickers on this layout. Okay, now I thought it needed something extra. I could have done stitching, but I didn't want to pull out my sewing machine and I really didn't want to change the thread colour in it because it has white at the moment. So I just did some faux stitching with my black pen. Now I'm going to measure out my little cross section, I guess. I'm just measuring it to make sure I get it nice and centered because I'm going to do some hand stitching. I do it off camera. It's just with white floss. I use all 6 strands and I just do a straight up back stitch, very simple. And I just stitched straight through the middle. And you'll see that coming up very soon. I'm going to stick my photos down first. My photos and my little grid squares. I'm not sure why. I think I just felt like I could get it straighter if I did that. Oh, wait, I do my mixed media first. Never mind. I did my mixed media because I was worried that if I didn't do that before I did my stitching, if it got on the stitching, you wouldn't be able to see the stitching. And I'm glad I did do the mixed media first. Also erasing my pencil lines. Interesting choice, Danny. Before I've done my stitching. Interesting. Anyway, I'm just going to splatter. I'm just using some red, some orange, I do go with some black, and do I use gold? I might use gold as well. And I'm kind of going everywhere, but I'm really centering it on that diagonal straight through the middle of those two square pieces. So I'm really trying to keep my colour focused there, just to help that sort of diagonal flow and just to leave a bit of white space as well. So I do put some splatters on the other corners, but I'm really trying to concentrate it on that diagonal. It's just a bit of a darker red now. Just being very sparing with that. It was quite bold. Pretty though. You really do have to be careful with red that it doesn't look like blood. Yep, there we go. I did put gold on. And that helps tie in those gold alphas too. Yeah, got a lot of ink on those alphas that are hanging out there, but I just wiped it off, came off no problem. There's my black. It ended up, I don't know, it didn't end up black. It ended up more grey when it dried. I'm not sure why. Doesn't usually, but anyway. There we go, there's my stitching. I love that texture, and it just really helps to emphasize that grid design. Last but certainly not least, got to add some enamel dots. This really helped pull it all together. I just use a combination of some Simple Stories ones and some Reject Shop ones, and I just put I think 2 clusters of 3, red, yellow and black one. And I do move them around a little bit. I tend to do that with enamel dots, but I just put one down in the top and the bottom corner there. One cluster, and that's it. So close-ups coming up. Don't forget to check out the Scrap the Boys challenge. It's really, really fun, and I am on the design team now, so you will see my first layout for that next month. So yeah, definitely check it out. I'll leave a link in the description box, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye.